Boom. I think. There you are. Okay. Make sure that's working. Currently watching Breaking Bad. Ew. Right. Quick update. So your boy basically uh, got the fucking thing to work. It grabs the time from the API from the calendar. Like it grabs all the appointments that are in the day that the person selects. So I'm gonna email in really quickly. Phone number. So when we pick a date, we're gonna see a date pop up. So that 02, that 2023 0516. That is basically the date that's selected, but in ISO format because the API can only read dates in ISO format. It doesn't have to be the entire string, like with the date included, or with the date, the time, the seconds, and all that. It just really needs the time or the date to be only in ISO format. So knowing that, I only knew that because before I did this portion of the API, I for some reason decided to create an appointment first just to see if I can do it. Anytime I'm in this situation where I've never done something before, I rely on like one thing and one thing only. That's I've never like I found we've never knew how to do anything at one point. We were all kids, babies and shit. And then we grow up, we learn things. We learn how to walk. We just naturally pick it up. We're human beings. We naturally learn things. So I think coding has been one of my hardest challenges in any skill that I've ever tried to go after. I think After Effects, learning motion graphics was the second hardest because it's like you have this idea in your head that's like, yo, this would be perfect. And then you have to learn how to make it perfect, like the perfect that's in your head. So, that being said, I didn't know I still don't know what I'm doing, right? But I didn't know what I was doing when I made the HTML page. I didn't even know how to put a nav bar in there. It's not there right now, but it used to be there. I took it off because we don't have any pages right now. I didn't even know how to make a header. I didn't even know how I didn't know how to do any of this. And this right here, what you're looking at is straight HTML and CSS. Didn't know how to do any of it. So the further I get, I keep that same mentality where it's like, well, I didn't know what I was doing the first time, or I didn't know what I was doing when I made this, but I learned how to do it. So right now, the challenge is that we have a get a get request and a post request, but these are both in the main function of this convert date to ISO. So I'm already certain that the organization of this entire JavaScript is going to be shitty as hell. And there's probably way easier ways to do this, but as of right now, this is currently what I have. I basically, first thing that I do is I make that function that you've seen over here. So when you select a date, like you hit schedule now, you don't notice it, but nothing's happening yet. There's nothing to do. There's nothing for the API to pull. There's nothing for this JavaScript to do. But it did run a slight little bit of a code where when we hit schedule now, it made this form pop up, which I already kind of did wrong. This thing should be a modal so that, the back, it works like a modal. But I didn't know what a modal was at the time. So I just kind of stuck with what I have right now. Maybe this will change down the line, but as of right now, I don't really have a plan for how I'm going to attack it in the future. As of right now, it closes out everything behind it, so it acts like a modal. So there's that at least. But as you can see, it says let's start off with some contact info. Keep an eye on that little header right there. Not the oil tech, but let's start off with some contact info. So right away, I put in my email, my name, my phone number, my email, and boom, another action or another function. It took my name, and then it also expanded the entire form. But it also revealed the date picker. So 3 functions ran at the same time. But you'll also see that when I click this calendar button and I click this date, I choose a date that I've done before because I know which dates to choose so that it pulls out the data that I needed to pull out. Anywho, and as you can see, first thing we see is that time that is converted into ISO, which is this function right here. I think. Trying to figure out what's happening right now. Sorry. Hold on, it's Breaking Bad first time watching it. Oh man, his sister. Oh man.
That's what Skylar told me. He may as well have. I wasn't talking about Walter Jr. About Walt. Excuse me? Admit it. He's not acceptable. I mean, why would anyone in their right mind choose not to do treatment, especially when it's completely paid for?
I ain't gonna lie to y'all, if I had cancer, and like if you watch Breaking Bad, you understand what I mean? I would do exactly what Walt did. Fuck y'all niggas, the fuck. Niggas trying to give me charity. Fuck, I look like a.
No, just a family meeting.
Oh man. Alright, back to it. So, as you can see, that's the first function. And there's a lot of, if you know JavaScript, you know what's happening. Or kinda. But if you don't, well, you can see there's a lot going on in this function here. So, basically, we called a function, or there's another word for it, there's another way of describing it. But basically what we did is we invented this convert date to ISO function. So what it does is it takes the date picker's information, and then it also it's kind of hard to determine what each one does. But as you can see, these two things are evolved around the date picker. So in order for this variable to be created, wow. Oh man, look at him applying authority. So now we have the selected date one, which is exactly what we just did. The selected date would be one of these little time buttons. We'll talk about that in the future. But the date picker value comes from the date picker, which we just selected. And when we did that, it revealed a bunch of this. So we see the number 3 with some dates applied to it. So what it did was it collected all of the appointments from that day. So the day that's right here, all these appointments are coming from. It's pretty obvious, right? So now, as you can see when we look at this form, we see 8:30 right away, but we don't see 8 o'clock. 9 o'clock, 9:30. No 10 o'clock. Why is that? because anything that has any times that are basically, so these times we have a 7 o'clock, an 8 o'clock, and a 10 o'clock. The 8 o'clock, and the 10 o'clock are clearly already taken up. So why would we display something that's already taken up? Now, we're gonna go on and select this 8:30. Alrighty. So I just created an appointment, but the issue, which I'll get to down the line, is that I'll show you the code down the line. Is that it created the appointment way too early. I don't even have any of the car information filled out yet. He just helicoptered his homie, bro. Should be going down in this RV. My RV was not popping like this. That is the cool thing about an RV. You can just take off with that shit. Oh, does this nigga have a fucking crossbow? What the Wow. That motherfucker has a crossbow. And he decided to shoot the fucking back of the damn RV instead of the tire. Maybe get a window at least better. Two things. Imagine getting left in the desert. And then imagine getting left in the desert with a fucking crossbow. Niggas gonna look at you like, yeah, buddy, you're going to jail. You're going to jail. Oh, Breaking Bad is so, man. Anyway, so the issue is that it created the appointment with no time, so it just decided whatever time was associated. I don't even know what time it chose. Doesn't have anything in any car information. And it doesn't know what it's fixing, so we don't really know anything about the appointment. All we know is that one was created, so this could have been by accident. So this is gonna get disregarded, ignored. So the issue is that it's basically creating the appointment too early. The reason for that is because we have this const options, this API call, post request. As you can see, we got the fetch request right there, and it ends about here. And unfortunately, if we move this to a further portion of the code, we lose the values of this ISO date and this end date. So the ISO end date and the ISO date, I guess, which we use to find this little guy right here. So what this does is displays, for some reason, the appointments from that day, which basically does the same thing differently. We only need the information from. I think I'm already answering my own question. What if I never needed to use the get request, and I only needed to use the post request to gather the data, because it basically just gathered an appointment from the exact same day. Yep. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. I don't know what it did, if I'm honest with you. But it posted that it made the calendar. So I mean, it made the appointment. So that's all that matters. And if we move this somewhere down the line, somewhere down here where it is actually important, like this appointment form. That's why I had so much trouble saying that damn word. You would see that it would be the perfect spot, like right as that submit button gets selected. So the submit button would be revealed after we fill out all this information. So nothing. Okay, that is a glitch or a bug. Thanks for catching that. So now we have more information. Hey, Michael Simpson, your brake repair for the Civic is being reviewed by our team. If you are ready to schedule, hit submit. If not, please refresh and try again. So it's basically, this is my only way of being able to say, before you schedule this appointment, do you have all your ducks in a row? And then eventually I'm going to put like a back button so that they can go back to that portion and be like, okay, let me make sure all my shit's good with the next button. And then finally submit, When you do that, it'll probably load a little bit, and then it'll scroll down for you. The reason for that is because we feel like this portion right here is just a little blank. I could probably fill it up down the line, but as of right now, I do like the fact that it kind of like forces you, or I would say, suggests that you read this portion so that you can get reeled in. You know, kind of get some more information about the brand, about the shop. See what you can do with any of this. Check out the Insta, check out the Facebook, check out the Yelp if you really want to get the info as a business, from a business, from the business. Um, and then down the line we'll build into it, have way more information in there that we could, use as use for advertising and whatnot. All right, so yeah, now the current. Oh man, imagine your son calling you a pussy. When your son don't know shit, but he's just hurt. That man said you're scared of a little chemotherapy. Holy shit.
Me, personally, I think you should do whatever you want to do. What?
Wow.
You told us to be honest about our feelings. Walt's the one with cancer. It's his decision. It's not up to any of us.
Sorry, go crazy, queen.
Hey, hey. I wasn't planning on agreeing with Walt. But after sitting here and listening to you all talk about his future like he has no say in it, I just think I have a future if he doesn't get treatment. I am a medical professional. I x-ray people in treatment every day. I see them every day. And you know what? Some of them are absolutely miserable. I'm sorry, but it's true. And some of them don't want to spend their last weeks or months being picked at by doctors. But they got talked into it by their families.
Hey, can I get a pillow back? Because I agree with Marie on this one.
Hank,
What? Walt wants to die like a man, all right?
I don't want him to die at all. That's the whole point of this. So either help or leave. Skylar,
Bye, bitch.
I just wanted to do you the courtesy of giving you my honest opinion. You know, Marie, this is not debate club. This is my husband's life. You know, we're talking about this is my husband's life. We're talking about his life. It's like you have to dare. You can't so we can disagree.
This is so stupid.
That nigga took the pillow.
I've got a talking pillow now. Okay. We all in this room, we love each other. We want what's best for each other, and I know that. I am very thankful for that.
Hank is looking at him in disgust. Be a man.
That's the worst part.
Pussy.
So, that is my thought process, Carter. Sorry. I choose not to do.
For the people. Alright, let's figure this shit the fuck out. So, we've done it before. Now we see how this basically works. Now let's go through the breakdown of the actual JS script, or the JavaScript. So, like I said, I'm new at this, so it's probably going to look pretty sloppy. So, once we get the information from the GET request, as you can see, we have this time container, time button, and then we hide whatever buttons match up with the dates, the times from the GET request. So that would be these bad boys over here. So, all right. So time buttons. Oh wait, no, this is yeah. If button get attribute by ID is equal to the local time string from. Wait, what? Fuck. Is this it? Hide button. Yeah, because it uses the button ID. So the button has an ID in ISO format. Right? Holy shit, no, I am way off. How is it hiding that bitch? Let's open up the... Alright, well, maybe I'm wrong about this. This either hides the buttons when it's selected, or hides the buttons that match up to... or hides the button. It should be hiding the buttons that have any similar time. Okay, so yeah, I could just tell the logic is still probably fucked up. Which is weird because I thought this had to be in ISO format, but I guess I convert it. So yeah, so this has to be converted to ISO format. So it hides it. So if true, hide the button. If hide button is true, in button display, hide it. Meaning hide the time button that is the equivalent to any of the times that show up here. So it's basically like a compare and contrast. Does this output equal any of these outputs? Whatever it equals, disappear, hide. Then we have the post request, which basically uses the only thing I adjusted so far to this is this part. The ISO end date comes from the end date plus the selected date. I mean the ISO date plus the selected date. So basically, yeah. So const ISO date equals end date plus ISO string. But before that, we have end date is the set hours, end date get hours plus 1. Holy shit. Damn, I thought I was going to change that to be something else.
Walter White?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So basically, it just adds an hour onto the start date or the ISO date. So as you can see, we have the selected date get time, which is basically the date picker. So we have that up here, selected date. So basically, it says get the selected date and turn it into an ISO string and add an hour to it. So end date dot get hours. That's basically what sets the hour to it. And then once the hour gets set to it, now the post request can use the start date and the end date, which as you can see down here, are actually just the ISO end date and the ISO date. You could use both of those to fetch the appointments so that it could basically like, hey, this is where we're going to insert an appointment. This is the array of data that we will insert information into. Or at least that's my understanding of it. And we have the fetch request that includes the post options and the endpoint. And then we have our thens. I still don't really know what this does. If I'm real with you, got a good idea. Who's Elliot?
Wow, what a party.
Oh man. Not be stingy with the ChatGPT prompts. Oh man. Quick answer, but sheesh. Oh man, what the fuck? Okay. Oh, you're still.
As it turns out, insurance came through after all. So,
Oh, that was the girl. That when he was like in college or whatever he was doing, when he was a youngin'. That was the girl who was sitting down with them doing the chemistry shit. She went with the rich nigga. Damn. Them rich niggas, bitch niggas, but got paper. She just want diamond rings. This code is a series of promises that handle the response from an HTTP request made using JavaScript's Fetch API. Here's a breakdown of what's happening. Then response. See, how do you even say that? I still don't understand the syntax enough to say that. Oh my god, they're gonna make Walter come back like he's some fucking like hero and shit. Oh, never mind. I thought that was gonna be like silhouette of the nigga. This line takes a response from the API and the JSON response. From the API and uses the JSON method to parse the response data into a JavaScript object. Then the JSON method returns a promise so it can be chained within another then call. So it console logs the response. This line console logs the parsed JSON response to the console. This line catches any errors. So this is for error handling, and yeah, basically for error handling. And I think that first then response allows the other two to work. So I think that's what's happening here. It's a cool thing about ChatGPT. Oh my gosh, my computer's like overloaded. Oh man, yeah, he's gonna be pissed. Oh damn, I'll smoke this whole cart half fucking in a day.
let's get something straight. This, the chemistry, is my realm. I am in charge of the cooking. Out there on the street, you deal with the
Oh, this has to be like the ending of season 2 or like season 1 onto season 2 or 3. I don't even know what season. Oh, does it show me though? Skip the intro. Start of, it has to be, yes. Oh, shit, not bro. This is still season 1. Huh? Alright, shit. It's gonna be a long season. Alright, now this date picker situation. So what we do is we wait. This one has a lot of shit going on. Not gonna lie. So basically, the entire JavaScript runs off of this one function or variable, I guess. So the show times function, that is what displays the times. So it's basically the one that was just before this. See, I don't have the functionality to go back, so can't do that yet. But we use the date picker. Don't know why it's in there twice, to be real with you. And we wait for a change to happen to it. Once the change happens, we display the show times. And then if the date has changed, we basically, meaning, don't really know what that means, to be real with you. I don't know what I was thinking there. Alright. So, if date has changed, then times container style display block. So that's what shows the times. So there it is. So the variable, has date changed, basically checks to see if the date picker value has changed, and once that change occurs, these functions happen. The name input display gets the name input, the email, the phone, and the date picker. All of those get displayed one after another, but the date picker doesn't get displayed until the name is selected. Until the name has or until the email is put in. You can try to skip ahead and put the phone number or put the email in. But the issue is that you can't click on the email or the phone number, so you have to put your name in. Then you can put your email in. Then you can put your phone number in. Put your phone number in. Boom. We just seen the input. We just seen the date picker get displayed. And then when the selected date picker value is selected, we basically used another function to select the date. I keep making fucking appointments. I just realized that. Gotta delete those. The shot monkey update they shit. That would be the worst feeling ever. But yeah. So, basically, okay, yeah, we made just 2. It's good to know. It keeps choosing the same time, 5 to 6 p.m.
Like an explosion?
Yes, good. Explosions are the result of chemical reactions happening almost instantaneously. A faster reactant, i.e. explosives, and fulminated mercury is a prime example of that. The faster they undergo change.
Alright, well, I can delete that later. Whatever. Okay. And then as you can see, we have this function, the appointment header text content. So this changes anytime you put a certain input in. So that's that little message up here. Now, Michael Simpson, pick a date. Now, Michael Simpson, pick a date that works for you. Okay, I'm about to pick a date that works for me. Oh man, that dude's locking it up.
You okay?
8 a.m.
Don't worry. I got kids to teach. Thank you.
lose weight, which is tough. So, but I feel that that's my.
And then as you can see fucking here, we just have a bunch of fucking variables. Holy shit. I don't know if that's the proper way of doing that either, but fuck it. Why not? So we can basically use these later on in the code or above it. Since these variables are already selected, now if you want to use the data from them, we can just call those. So if we want to use the appointment header, we can just put appointment header. As you can see, we did that here. Add the text content, change that header again.
What's up with that?
Well, is there anything else? Back.
The fact that he's a meth dealer? I don't think so.
Now's the time to shoot.
I like to be alone at times. It's not about me, really. It's just that sometimes it feels better not to talk at all. About anything.
So now we have another event. We have an event listener that waits for input for the name, and then if the input for the name is false, meaning it's not there, it will not allow you to use those inputs. Same thing for the email and the phone input, or the opposite happens right after. So if anything else, meaning if these are true, because that's the only other option, then allow them. Wait. So if the name value length is 0, meaning nothing's in there, then make sure that these stay disabled. So that means that if this input is greater than 0 and these are false, if the name input is greater than 0, then that means that these inputs are false, because that means that they're not displayed. So if the input value is not greater than 0, that means that these inputs are going to be disabled. And then if they're not greater than 0, meaning if they are greater than 0, then they wouldn't be displayed. They would not be disabled. Jesus Christ, it's just so many different ways to be able to say the same thing. Basically, that name input isn't put in, you can't use the email and you can't use the phone input. I just feel like there's a way simpler way of obtaining what I obtained, but we also had to use these up here, meaning that they're disabled from the beginning, and in order for you to enable them, you have to use this name input that does this an additional time. I don't really know why, but it does. What the fuck did he find out?
How did you know? My aunt had one of those dots on her to target the radiation. Was it your mom? I mean, pardon, man. You should have told me. God, that's not cool, okay? Not at all. What stage are you? 3A.
Damn. Now, for the phone input, same thing. Once you put in your phone, now the date picker gets displayed, as you can see here. We have if email and this other one are filled out, then throw this error. So if only these two are filled out and the other one isn't filled out, throw the error. If anything else, run this function, which just changes the display. So now, Michael, pick a date that works for you. That's where that comes in. and then we have the date picker style display, which we selected earlier. And then when the date picker is displayed, it does all this API calling shit, which we still need to clean up and make sure that we modify it. And then we have this schedule now add event listener. So I'm assuming this displays the rest of the content. So you noticed how at first it was just the name, the email, and the phone number, and then the date picker. And then when you select the date, it displays the car model and year of the car.
Bad skills. Hold on, here. You do it. You can do it. If you have any questions, I'll be right up here. Next time, put an ice pack on your head during chemo. My aunt said it helped with the hair loss.
Alrighty. So when date picker sees a change, it shows the times. I feel like I seen that code earlier, but it's okay. It works. It fucking works. Hide other times. So this is basically so if the button is clicked, if one of the time buttons are clicked, so 8 a.m. was clicked, so it hides the rest of them. Because why would you want to keep them up? So that's that. If button is clicked, none, and then display the car info. So this function does two things. It displays this portion, which is where we're currently at, and then it also console logs this to the console, obviously. And then we have the ISO date, which is what I just displayed, which I just got done talking about. It's right here. I'm tweaking, right? Yes, I am. Yeah, never mind. Hey, is this the dude? Man, them apartments really, drug motherfuckers, that's really the place, dog. It's like a fucking... Man, crystal meth is a crazy thing.
We were supposed to start at 3. Hey, I'm out there making fat stacks, man. Chill. Hey, prepaid cell phone. Use it. $26 big ones. Is that all? $26,000?
No, man, $2,600.
Your share is 13. Minus $25 for that phone. How much meth did you sell? Nearly an ounce. Last time I checked, there were 16 ounces to a pound. What'd you do with the rest? Smoke it? Yo, I've been out there all night slinging crystal. You think it's cake moving a pound of meth 1/10 at a time? So why are you selling it in such small quantities? Why don't you just sell the whole pound at once? To who? What do I look like, Scarface? This is unacceptable. I am breaking the law here. This return is too little for the risk. I thought you'd be ready for another pound today. You may know a lot about chemistry, man, but you don't know jack about slinging dope. Well, I'll tell you, I know a lack of motivation. I see it.
Can't argue that. He was a teacher.
More imaginative, you know, just think outside the box here. We have to move our product
guy's OG.
What does that mean?
Jesus, look, he's upper level, man. He's not gonna do business with some dude he doesn't know.
Hey, you just don't understand the way it works. You can't just bum rush some high-level Iceman and start cutting deals. Hey, it's risky. You need an intro. You need someone to vouch. Well, who introduced you to Crazy Eight?
Emilio, that's only because I knew him from like 3rd grade, and
We can't talk to Emilio either. All right.
but I'm telling you, Mr. White, it's too risky.
Alright.
Okay?
Times container style display is none. Console log the click button ID, which is what we see right there. Line 4 and 46. Times button for each button that events the listener had other times. I feel like I've seen that already. Ew. Just called that nigga broke as hell. Time buttons for each item button listener model input. Disable it was true, make input if input. Yep, same functionality as earlier. Basically just like repetitive but for different areas. If the name input value is greater than 0. I still don't really understand these if else statements, but it's okay. Like if and is false. I don't know. So now this is where this form gets submitted. So when we fill in this car information, we have to select the repair in order for this to work. So the service input, which is what we're about to change, does this.
How you feeling, Will?
So now we have quick little warning. Hey Michael, if your brake repair for the Civic is being reviewed by our team, if you are ready to schedule, hit submit. If not, please refresh and try again. So this is basically saying, hey, if you want to restart and make sure you're doing it right, refresh this motherfucker. But if you're comfortable with what you did, submit. And then when you hit submit, you'll see this submit button. True.
What are you doing here?
Little animation. It's supposed to be like a whole scroll, little spin the wheel vibe. But I didn't have the API set up yet.
Do you recognize that? That was used to cook meth. Found out some Indian land about 40 miles from here.
Experience still, and then we have this section that says this function that scrolls to the section, which is the section to scroll to. You can offset this luckily, so you can basically like change what portion it scrolls to. I basically like it because it scrolls right about there, which is like what I want you to see, so that you can get a better understanding. A little quick thing to read.
This a while back, nobody yet. I'm pretty sure you probably chopped up in little pieces and fed to the buzzards. Anyway, you know, respirators like that go missing lately?
Yep. And then hide the appointment form. It's supposed to be a loading div that clearly isn't working. You would have saw it. And then it posts the API. It posted it a long time ago, but yeah.
Alright, so who's got keys? Science faculty, staff, Carmen, the vice principal, the master, and hey, how about students? No. Shit, I should hope not. My question is, when do those piss hands know where you keep them? I don't think so, no. I mean, besides, I keep them right here in my pocket anyway, so. Well, look, I know they're your Speaking.
Bad time to talk.
Absolutely.
So just listen. Hey, so you know that guy we were talking about, Tuco? Turns out my boy Skinny P was in the same cell block with him over at Los Lunas.
So we got her in. We're on it. Out to the dude right now. Okay then. Well, thank you. Thank you very much for calling. My doctor is very solicitous. But he'll answer. You have water. So that's what you gotta be. Okay? And the keep better watch what we return. We don't want people to start wondering about you.
We don't want people to start wondering about you.
Right now.
I love how they make Hank like how he think and like they make him think he's the smartest guy in the world. He's the shit. Walter's just it's like Jim and Dwight, but meth.
Yo, man, I'm Skinny P.
All right, that was awkward. Question is, can we get this to fucking work without? So we clearly use the ISO date 15 times. Boom.
No need, man. Me and Tuco go back.
Basically want to be able to can we like pause this request until the
Go. What's happening?
submit button is clicked.
Sick crib, yo. You've been keeping it real since you've been sprung. What's it been, like a year?
It's your boy.
Yeah, Jesse. Dude, the glass I was telling you about.
And then, yeah, I've heard a lot about you.
What you got for guys?
I like how people use this scene for the Thanos thing.
No worries, man. No problem.
They said hit it.
Booyah! Wow! This kid's like a wheel with his balls wrapped in duct tape. Wow!
Huh, that's quite the analogy.
I cut it.
Bullshit. No one, man. I have a partner that I cook with, but that's it.
Alright. Oh. You got a deal.
Told you to go hook you up.
Cool.
I haven't said how much.
Alright. How much?
35 large for the pound.
You were legacy.
It's alright, don't sweat. It's all good.
It's good. Go on, get out of here.
What about the money?
You good? Just sign the information.
You want me to blow 35 G's?
Trust me.
No, hey, it's not that, man. It's just, I don't do business that way.
Oh shit, the deal is done. You said this was cool. Get ready
I wonder if I could run this.
Fuck, dude, Tuco's good for it. I don't need you. Oh, God, you fought for me! Oh, come on!
Damn. Oh, yeah, duh. Well,
Alright, you brought me some really clean crystal. Woo.
how?
You really want your leave?
Okay. Let's try this. Copy that. No, not feeling it. Okay.
Nobody moves crystal in the South Valley but me, bitch!
Jesse be getting fucked up. Not gonna lie. He be getting his little ass kicked. Oh no, not the DEA.
Morning, Hugo. Don't mind if I call you Hugo. Hugo?
What if we do like if submit button is clicked, run this API? Because then we can add the data to it once we know the API is ran when we want it to be ran.
Where the hell are you? Call me back. John. Oh, okay. I'll be right there. All right. See you turn raises.
Joe, you got well. Your color's better.
Thanks.
He's actually on the pretty strong stuff. Dr. Delgado is trying to talk about the taking some time off from work, but
Actually, I just talked to Carmen this morning. We're getting a substitute for a few weeks.
oh yeah.
I just didn't have a chance to tell you. You bet, Pepe. Check.
Check. Checks in the mail.
So if
10 million.
submit button is clicked,
Well, then 25 million because
run this API.
And like, our radio listened Mr. Archuleta the other day. He's a pretty cool guy.
Well, turns out he has a record. Yeah, a couple of possession beefs. We figured he was the guy that was stealing your school's chemistry gear. I mean, had a key, fit the profile. When we searched his truck, we found a big old fat blunt, which goes to prove old huge Hugo ain't so cool after all. It's to you all.
Oh man, you got Hugo caught up.
I can't believe the school system didn't know about the record. I think that's pretty scary. How did something like that just slip through the cracks?
Yeah, my boy Hugo fucked up. Man.
It's worth it. Hugo just doesn't strike me as a thief. Yeah, well, not a personal wall, but you wouldn't know a criminal if he was close enough to check you for a hernia. Now that said, we got a search warrant and we tore old Hugo's house apart. Turns out he's a major league pothead. But he did major chemistry stuff. You find something? I'm in. And the river card. Oh. Yeah, I got this. I'm out.
I know.
It's like Walter's wife and Hank's wife should be swapped. Like Hank fucks with gets more along with his girl. He gets more along with Hank's girl. It's fucking weird. Oh man, that's not how I want to run the function though, right?
Who's this? I was dialing Jesse Pinkman. Where is he? Guy. Yeah, I'm the guy.
That's not very good. I was all like, damn, Tuco, chill, I say. I don't know what got into him. Seriously. He's out, man. Way out. I got him doped up big time. You're the cook, huh?
See, I'm scared that if I do this way,
Yo, I didn't catch your name.
that the one that's down here is gonna be like, and then there's gonna be two. The submit button's gonna be open earlier than it needs to be. It's basically what I think I'm getting at. Let's see if I can do it.
Tell me about this Tuco. Tell me everything about it.
Oh man. It's gonna say that there's a syntax error because there's two of these. Should go where you go. So this is where we want it to be. But obviously there's no. I hate when it does that shit, bruh.
Heisenberg. Imagine how eager for him. No. It's your meeting. Why don't you start talking and tell me what you want? $50,000. Oh man, 50 G's? How you figure that? 35 for the pound of meth you stole, and another 15 for my partner's pain and suffering. Pardon? Oh yeah, I remember that little bitch. So you must be daddy. Let me get this straight. I still don't. Break the piss out of your real boy. And then you walk in here and you bring me more, man? Woo, it's a brilliant plan, isn't it? Brilliant. You got one part of that wrong. This is not meth.
All right, Walter Heisenberg is clearly the chemical evil genius, apparently.
Are you fucking nuts? No, Scanzo, calma. 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 You got balls.
Unreachable code detected. Quick
I
fix.
give you your money. Hey, Crystal. Sure.
So yeah, quick fix that shit out of here.
So faster. $10 acid teacher.
How about there? Yeah.
So you bring me another pound next week.
I don't get it, man. I don't understand it.
Money up front. Sometimes you gotta rhyme to keep your riches.
How did I do it
As
here?
long as we get an understanding. 1 pound is not gonna cut it. You have to take 2. Orderly. Hey, what is this shit? Fulminated mercury. A tweak of chemistry.
Yo,
Huh?
DoorDash from Popeyes. Do you want anything?
DoorDashing Popeyes, bro? You're down bad today? DoorDashing? Don't mind me. Hold on, let me mute my mic, bro. Hold on. Nigga barged in. Where the fuck? Okay, what am I tripping off of? What do I need to see here? Okay.
That was crazy. Look. Jeez. Looks like Lex Luthor.
Alright, we can just call it even.
I visited you
But
last week. What did you say?
Had skinny pizza wearing Tuco's dress. Asking that girl out for blood. You are alive. Obviously, why stop?
No, I did go see him.
Bullshit.
So are you selling your house?
Got two dudes turned into raspberry slush and flushed down my toilet. I can't even take a proper dump in there. I mean, the whole damn house has got to be haunted by now. You didn't actually go see Tuco.
That is 17.5. Your half of the 35,000. Plus there's an extra 15 in there. It's all yours. You've earned it.
You got this money from Tuco. So Tuco gave you this, is what you're saying.
Deal.
You made a deal? Wait, how? Why would you make a deal with that scumbag? You see what he did to me?
Because I think that we can do business together. We came to an understanding.
No way, man, okay? No understanding.
Take a look at the money in your hand. Now just imagine making that every week. That's right. 2 pounds a week, 35,000 a pound.
Without even talking to me, you told this insane ass clown, dead-eyed killer that we would give him 2 pounds a week.
Now we'll just scale up our operation. We'll add a few more hours.
Don't talk to me about hours. What about pseudo, man? How are we gonna get that? You think the meth fairy's just gonna bring it to us? God, it takes me a week to get this stuff. I'm driving all the way out to Las Cruces, 200 miles each way to meet up with my Smurfs.
Smurfs.
The dudes who go to the drugstores and get a couple boxes at a time and then sell them to me. And that's maybe only good for like maybe a half pound worth. See, that's the bottleneck in your brilliant business plan.
All right.
See, of course, you would have known that if you would have just asked me.
Well, here we are again.
Here we are.
Skylar, you look great.
Thank you.
You must be, what, 6, 7 months? How was it?
It's great. Other than waddling to the bathroom every 5 minutes.
Baby showers next week. And it'd be good to have a day that's just about Skylar. Very nice.
Well, I see you coming into the hair loss.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Okay. Pretty decent, actually.
His color is better. His energy. And he's even more physical.
More physical?
Well, sexual. Frisky, actually. I mean, that's got to be a good sign, right?
Sure, I'll take that. Very well.
Couldn't that mean that the chemo was working?
Well, realistically, it may just mean that we've got the antiemetics tuned right. Truth is, until Walt's finished this round of chemo and we look at a new PET scan, we just can't say for sure.
Well, isn't there anything else we could be doing? Well, I've been wondering about alternative medicine. I mean,
we didn't know that would be the case.
holistic.
Well, I can't speak to its efficacy, but as long as it doesn't
Anytime I try to move this entire API, it just fucks up the whole thing.
outlook, better comfort is fine by me.
So you're saying it's just all psychological? Doesn't make any real difference.
Having a better outlook can make a tremendous difference, but it's also important that we manage our expectations.
What? Junkyard? Let me guess, you picked this place?
What's wrong with it? It's private. like, oh, I saw this in a movie. Ooh, it was me.
So where do you transact your business? Enlighten me.
How about Taco Cabeza? Half the deals I've ever done went down in Taco Cabeza. Nice and public. Open 24 hours. Nobody ever gets shot at Taco Cabeza. Hell, why not the mall? You know, Wiz Gap. Hey, it's time to meet. You know, I'll put down the flat front khakis, head on over, grab an orange Julius. Skip the part where psycho lunatic Tuco, you know, comes and steals my drugs and leaves me bleeding to death.
Look, you don't have to be here for this. Okay, I mean seriously. Okay.
You can add this event listener
No
to the
pussy.
bottom of this API potentially.
I'm good.
You could run it like right here. Just move it probably. What if we move it? We fuck up the whole thing, don't we?
Cleaning this boy. Sorry that I had to tune you up. Respect this, so you gotta give it to get it. So what are we doing way the hell out here? What, they closed the mall or something? Eisenberg, come on, break it down. That's it? That's all you got?
We had some production problems.
0.53. But you was a player. You told me 2 pounds, and now you waste my time with these chiclets?
Oh wait.
17 and a half. Minus and a half for wasting my time. Hey, come on. What? You gonna argue? You got something to say? Doing business like a couple little bitches. I want all of it.
70 grand.
What did you say?
You like this product. You want more. Consider it a capital investment.
Local ball, motherfucker. 52 and a half. 25 points paid. Thank you. Interest. Weekly.
$65,625
With interest.
1.875 pounds.
2 pounds. Next Friday. Production problems.
Can you handle 4 pounds?
Listen, old man. Tom is Tom. But only me money. It's bad. Did you just 4 pounds? 4 pounds. 2 pounds wasn't bad enough.
We're talking 200-300 boxes of sinus pills. There ain't that many Smurfs in the world.
We're not going to need pseudoephedrine. We're going to make phenylacetone in a tube furnace. And we're going to use reductive amination to yield methamphetamine. 4 pounds.
No pseudo.
Pseudo.
So you do have a plan. Yeah, Mr. White. Yes, science.
What's this? That is a shopping list. Getting some of those items may be challenging.
1 auto transformer, 6 liters, and hydrous methanate, 235 M&M tube furnaces,
drink. Yo, Mr. White, I can't even pronounce half this shit.
No, you know what? Count me out. All right, I'm leaving town. I'm moving to like Oregon or something. This is Jesse, listen to me. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. What are you doing? This is the first day of the rest of your life. But what kind of life will it be, huh? Will it be a life of fear? Of, oh, no. I can do this. Of never once believing in yourself? I don't know. Listen, these things, we need them. Only you can get them for us.
Okay, it's ready. Here you go.
Hi, baby. I'm your Aunt Marie. Now, of course, you already know that because when you watch this 20 years from now, I will look exactly the same as I do now. I know it is amazing. I have aged shockingly well, haven't I? Anyway, welcome to your baby shower.
Let's see why this would have an error.
Esmeralda.
Esmeralda. That's her name, and you heard it here first. Now,
Maybe
that
we just
is your wonderful, handsome older brother.
try it. Fuck it. May not run properly because it's like, yo, this submit button's coming a little way earlier than we expected. So now we just run that. API still ran. Okay. So now, see if that submit button still works properly. Fuck it, we'll make another appointment.
And I believe, Jake, that was around the time that we took Aunt Marie to the insane asylum.
Yeah, I dropped her off at the curb, then I married Shania Twain and lived happily ever after.
There's Daddy!
Submit button works. Yep. Alright. I just had to stop being a pussy. Okay, let's get rid of those appointments real quickly.
Molly, I'm very proud of you. I think about you all the time. Wherever you go, whatever you do in life, always know that you have a family who loves you very, very much. Cheers.
Cheers!
Cheers.
Oh my god, it's so cute! Oh, Carmen. Oh, look at that. That's adorable. I love it, Carmen. Thank you. You're so welcome, honey.
Okay.
Hi, me. Oh, and Hank. Oh, what nice wrapping paper. Marie always finds the best wrapping paper. I do. Okay. Let's see. Yes. Exciting.
Um.
Oh boy. It's a tiara.
Wait.
Marie, is this white gold and several carats worth of zircons?
Wait. What did I do?
Much on this. You shouldn't have. You really should.
Oh.
But it's really, it's sparkly.
It's heartbreaker.
Sparkly!
Hey, listen, Walt, you need anything stronger than beer?
I think it's in yeah.
Sorry, man. It's just, after 200 presents, it's kind of old.
Yeah. I knew that was gonna happen.
I got just thing to go with that. I'm sorry, man. I wasn't drinking. No. It's okay. You mind if I have one? You guys get that? Man, you've already got one. Okay. You got me there.
Hmm.
It's funny, isn't it? How we draw that line.
Yeah. What line is that?
Oh, what's legal, what's illegal, Cuban cigars, alcohol. You know, if we were drinking this in 1930, we'd be breaking the law. Another year, we'd be okay. Who knows what will be legal next year?
You mean like pot?
Yeah. Like pot or whatever.
Cocaine? Heroin?
I'm just saying it's arbitrary.
Well, you ought to visit lockup here when I got talking with you. Hey man, what you busting in with these 14 bales of ganja? It's all gonna be legal next year, like Willie Nelson's president. Shit, buddy. Don't only go one way either. Now there's stuff that's legal that shouldn't. Friggin' meth used to be legal. Used to sell over every counter in every pharmacy across America. Yeah, they came to their senses on that one, huh?
Meth babies.
Exploded.
A tiara. A white gold tiara.
I need to move this fucking API or something. I need to do something about this shit.
Got that at Gertrude's at Reasonable. I mean, that thing must have cost like, what, $500 or $600? I think I'm gonna return that.
Sure. Well,
I can explain to her that they died cheap more than a white baby tiara.
hey, you know, I've been thinking about what you said about the alternative medicine.
No, don't worry, I'm not gonna mention that anymore.
I don't know. Maybe there is something to that. You do this Navajo sweat lodge up by Farmington. Healing, ceremony. It's supposed to be good for your lungs. I'm not saying that I believe you. Inexperience.
Really? You? And Sweat Lodge?
Driving on Friday. Next one. You okay with it?
Well, of course I'm okay with that.
Let's see what that does.
Sweat Lodge?
Yeah.
So the minute we leave that function, that's what happens.
Well, that 70mm tube furnace, excellent. This is excellent. Very good work. Okay, hydrogen, electrolytically produced, yes.
Yeah, like you asked. This crap wasn't easy to get. And it's expensive.
Methylene. Where's the methylene? No, it's in the methylene.
Yeah, well, that's where I ran into trouble.
What kind of trouble?
We'll have this crap I could just buy, right? But this methyl mine, not so easy. They got it locked down tight. But I did find some pros who will rip it off for us. They want $10,000.
So what's the problem? You don't know.
No had. I spent almost the whole lot. I mean, I got like $2,000 left. I told you all this crap was expensive.
So these thieves, they say where they would be stealing it from?
The chemical supply place south of town. They got guards and security cameras. They got still doors. That's why these dudes are charging so much. Try.
spend money.
So, what's this stuff called again? Thermite. And that'll cut through lock. Because this is supposed to be one big ass lock. World War II. The Germans had an artillery base. It's the biggest in the world. Called the Gustav gun. It weighed 1,000 tons. The Gustav was capable of firing a 7-ton shell and hitting a target accurately 23 miles away. You could drop bombs on it every day for a month without ever disabling it. But drop a commando, one man, with just a bag of this, and he could melt right through 4 inches of solid steel and destroy that gun forever.
Wow.
So yes, I think you cut through any lock we're likely to find. You'd like to return this?
It's very nice, but yes. Well, but it is from the store, isn't it?
Oh yes, it's from this store. Do you happen to have a receipt?
No, I don't. It was a gift.
Ah, yeah. Mr. Wilson, could you step over here, please?
Okay, so I'm gonna have it break it down what all this is.
Oh, excuse me?
And this item is stolen, as I'm sure you know. Come with me, please.
Oh, well, those are sister's shoes. Oh.
yes. Intend to press charges.
Oh yes, I intend to press charges.
Please do. Over here.
What does this function?
All right. I told you. That's your, was a gift. A baby shower gift.
So who gave it to you? Man, you don't have to tell me anything. You can talk to the police.
And you don't have. Oh
My
man.
daughter-in-law remembers showing this particular item to a tall blonde woman who, when her back was turned, walked right out the door with it. Swear.
Oh, yeah? Well, then I can talk to the Channel 3 News. Yeah. I can tell them how people, without a shred, without a modicum of evidence, illegally
How?
detained an innocent, pregnant woman in a dank storeroom.
This is my office.
I feel I'm being held hostage. I'm not getting enough air back here. I can't breathe. Oh, oh my God. Oh no. I'm going into labor. Yes,
I can't tell if she's faking it or not. This bitch.
Hi, I'm Rachel Marie. Do the beat thing. Marie, it's Skylar. I just left Zachary's. I need to talk to you. Immediately.
Wow. Kind of love having a vagina.
Do you think you already passed? Here. How's this? It's all they had. Go to another store. This is all they had. You're in the wrong place.
Another function.
Of course.
I don't want to console log them. But we could. We could do this. Try that out, see what that does. If we can get that to work, maybe we can put the API down there now. Basically, we needed to do it twice. Well, yeah, it'll do it after this. I don't see a console log for the ISO date and the. Maybe because it's not in a function.
Is this gonna go out?
How about we put it over here? What's the next function?
What's going on? Where are the gallon jugs? God! What? Let's just hit this. Come on. Come on. Damn it! What the hell are you doing opening the door?
How are you taking out now? Come on.
Lift. Oh, come on! Jeez!
Hey Billy, you left that crapper yet? Whoa, why did we call it that? Fine, I'm scared to do this. Very scared to do this.
Oh man, come on, let me try it. How is it gonna be any different?
Can I just try it?
Fine, fine, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay.
Here you go.
Thanks, Dad.